Everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Anybody there? I am very pleased to be with you this morning in front of the lovely Delta Tower. So thank you to the residents of Delta Towers who are helping us host this press conference where we are discussing very important issues as it relates to affordable housing in the District of Columbia. Let me acknowledge very special guests who have joined us today. Councilmember Anita Bonds, who's a council member for at-large and the council member for housing in the District of Columbia. Let me also acknowledge Councilmember McDuffie, who I think I saw right behind me, who is the Ward 5 council member. Thank you, Councilmember McDuffie, as well. We're also joined by board members of the Delta Housing Corporation of D.C., so thank you to them for being here, as well as Tyrone Garrett, the executive director for the D.C. Housing Authority, Steve Glaudet of CNHED, that also helps us focus on housing in the district, and Polly Donaldson, who is the director of housing and community development, Christopher Donald from DCHFA, and Jenny Reed, who is my budget director. So let me thank you for joining us today. Like most Washingtonians and our fellow Americans, we were sleeping at 2 a.m. This past week when we saw the Senate of the United States vote on a far-reaching bill that they call Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Well, we know for some it's tax increases and Few Jobs Act would call it. And so what we are focused on today is how we locally can prevent some of the harmful impacts of this bill. We still don't know the full impacts of the bill because we haven't seen the final text. In fact, the process was so rushed that provisions were handwritten in the margins. But here's what we do know. Senate Republicans unilaterally are taking billions of dollars away from the middle class and handing it over to mega wealthy Americans and corporations, saddling future generations with an unrepayable debt. They are dropping the corporate income tax rate from 35% to 20%, while disallowing union members to make deductions for their dues, denying teachers who reach into their own pockets for supplies to deduct those expenses. Independent scoring shows that the bill would increase the national deficit by more than $1 trillion. So instead of creating relief for the middle class, the tax bills proposed by both the House and Senate could have devastating impacts on the middle class. For us, it just doesn't add up. And while we could talk all day about these provisions, let me just touch on a few outrageous points. First, the repeal of the Affordable Care Act's individual mandate, which they have tried to repeal more than 70 times, could find its way in this bill. It is buried within this bill, and it could sabotage access to affordable health care for 13 million Americans. Second, the House and Senate plans propose to either reduce or eliminate the deduction of state and local taxes, including property taxes and our state income taxes on federal returns. Third, some of the core incentives which drive home ownership, like the state and local income tax deduction and the mortgage interest deduction, would be severely eroded with either of these two bills, undermining the stabilizing force which homeowners bring to our neighborhoods. For us, it just doesn't add up. And I want to return to my last point on housing and talk specifically about affordable housing. While we call on Congress to go back to the drawing board on this bill, We are not going to wait to see what happens with affordable housing. I talked to you with Congresswoman Norton a few weeks ago about the role of private activity bonds in our efforts to create more affordable housing. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act proposes the elimination of a critical affordable housing tool, and those are private activity bonds. So the first step we're taking when it comes to protecting our vital investments in affordable housing is to preserve the district's ability to use this private activity bond authority, which in addition to funding affordable rental housing also supports affordable home ownership with mortgages and private financing for nonprofit organizations. PABs, of private activity bonds, also help produce well-paying jobs. In the district, since fiscal year 2010, $1.3 billion in DCHFA issued private activity bonds have leveraged an additional $650 million in private equity. This has helped bring nearly $2 billion in total development to the city. So I know these are a lot of numbers, but the bottom line is this. Private activity bonds have helped us fund 9,000 units of affordable housing. It is simply too hard to imagine what the impact would be on our ability to create more affordable housing. That's why I have invested more than $300 million into our Housing Production Trust Fund, which has yielded 3,000 units in production. We have enhanced our employer-assisted housing programs to make it easier for our DC government employees, including police and teachers and firefighters, to get the resources they need to buy their first home. But the folks on the Hill don't seem to be interested in this progress. They're more interested in making it harder for everyday Americans to own a home. With homeowners, we think on average seeing an $815 tax increase. For us, this just doesn't add up. So our plan moving forward, and this is what we are here to talk today, would essentially help us wipe out this critical capital need. We are taking a bold step. The DC Housing Finance Agency is preparing a $500 million bonds offering, by far its largest ever. To put it in simpler terms, I'm taking this action to ensure that we can produce and preserve 4,000 more units of affordable housing, regardless of how these tax reforms end up. I'll have Christopher Donald, who is representing DCHFA today, to join us to explain how this will help us continue our bold efforts to build and preserve affordable housing in the District of Columbia. So late last week, we sent letters to senators opposing these actions. We hope that in reconciliation that the House and the Senate will recognize how the proposals that they are advancing hurt affordable housing with private activity bonds and hurt homeowners in the District of Columbia and across our nation by eliminating or reducing key incentives for people to buy and own homes. So with that, I want to turn to Councilmember Bonds, who will represent the council and say more about what it means to her committee. I also want to recognize Councilmember McDuffie following Ms. Bonds.
Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so very much for being here, and special good morning to Mayor Bowser, who I think we have to give an additional round of applause because she decided immediately we are going to move forward with affordable housing initiatives in the District of Columbia. So come on, DC. This is so important to the lifelines that we have in the District of Columbia. And I just think we have to give deference where deference is due when we know that we're under fire. The work of our government to produce and preserve affordable housing into future days, of course, will be and can be impacted. by what Congress is seemingly deciding. As we understand, the ultimate decisions are yet to be decided because the conference committee may decide that they have a heart, that they are going to be compassionate. But you and I doubt that. This is a day that's been coming for many, and it's a day that many across America are going to feel tremendous impact from. I am just so proud to be a part of an effort that will secure a few more units of affordable housing for the District of Columbia. I'm not sure we're going to reach the 10,000 mark as we had set out, but we're certainly going to try. And I suppose that we will work hard to come up with some new tools that will leverage the few dollars that we have with private enterprise so that we can have more affordable housing. I applaud the leaders of the Housing Finance Agency, in particular, for the decision that they have shown in their agency's mission and for their ability to provide the resources, the information for the mayor to move swiftly and creatively on this very, very serious matter. Today, I look in this audience and I see many developers, believe it or not, which is a new advent for us because it's always the nonprofits, it's always us who feel the impact. But when we have our developer community with us, it says that the District of Columbia is going to do all that it can for its citizens. I think, though, while we can celebrate the fact that we've all come together, it is important that in our own way and with our own groups, that we send a bold message to Congress and to the current administration that occupies 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest, that we will stand as a mighty force against these erosions of human dignity and taking from our citizenry that we are proud Americans, we are proud Washingtonians, and one day we'll be proud the state of the District of Columbia or Washington, D.C. or Douglas Commonwealth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Duffy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm going to keep my remarks really brief because I don't know that there's anything more that needs to be said than what Madam Mayor Bowser has already said and what Councilmember Anita Bonds has already said because they've articulated these issues so well. And they've fought and championed the issues around affordable housing in the District of Columbia for years. And so let's give both of them, and particularly Mayor Bowser, a round of applause for all the work that she's done on affordable housing here in the District of Columbia. And I'm here to say I do not support the current tax plan that is before the Congress. A tax plan that puts more money in the pockets of the rich and increases the burden on the middle class and lower middle class is not something that I can support because it is not in line with our DC values, is it?
No.
It is not in line with our DC values, is it?
No.
It is not in line with our DC values. Right here in the District of Columbia, we have put our money where our mouths are. You've heard Mayor Bowser talk about our Housing Production Trust Fund and the more than $100 million that we continue to invest. We see the advocates in our nonprofit community and our for-profit developers who have put a priority and made a premium to make sure we're delivering on quality affordable housing for residents in the District of Columbia. We continue to get more people wanting to move into the District of Columbia, and if we have the resources that are necessary to accommodate and build that quality affordable housing, we can't have the kind of tax plans that are before the Congress today. So I want to let you all know that I've got Mayor Bowser's back, that I've got Councilmember Anita Bonds' back, and that our council and our executive are lockstep to say that we do not support the tax plan that's before us today. And we continue to look forward to working with all the folks in our advocacy community and our residents to make sure we can do quality projects and deliver things like we're trying to get done right here at Delta Towers. Right. We need the 179 units that are going to be built right here on this site.
Yes. Yes.
And we won't be able to do it if the current tax plan gets passed. And so thank you, Mayor Bowser. for bringing this together today, and let's continue to fight to get things that are consistent with our DC values right here in the District of Columbia. Thank you very much, Mayor Bowser.
All right, Delta Towers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for being here. So now let me turn to Chris Donald, who is going to talk a little bit more specifically about what this new bond issuance will mean for our efforts. Chris.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Mayor.
Good morning.
Councilmember Bonds, Councilmember McDuffie, to my colleagues at the Deputy Mayor's Office for Planning and Economic Development, my colleagues at the Department of Housing and Community Development, and our partners at the DC Housing Authority. Thank you very much for your continued partnership in the production of affordable housing. I'm going to focus right now on the convertible option bond that the Mayor mentioned. With the help of the Council and our fellow agencies and the Mayor's guidance, we are prepared to issue a $500 million convertible option bond. Well, what is that? What that means is we will sell those bonds to investors today, they will be invested, and then in the future when they are needed, they will convert into public debt. This will allow us to produce 4,000 units over the next 3 years for affordable housing. That matters.
Yeah.
The tax law being proposed down on Capitol Hill right now is an existential threat to the production of affordable housing in the District of Columbia. But we're not going to wait for that to happen. We're going to be proactive. But where you stand today is an example of how public and private entities can come together to make a beautiful place for people in affordable housing. We see the dynamic women of Delta Sigma Theta sorority here. We see the developer, Dante's Partners, and Gilbane Development, all coming together to produce almost 180 units. $80 million will be spent on this project. $27 million will come from private activity bonds. $27 million will come from low-income housing tax credits. And $20 million will come from our Housing Production Trust Fund. It is with this consistent commitment to the production of affordable housing that we will make sure that the lesser of these will be housed. But it's not simply a question of dollars and cents. When you leave here today, remember the 500 units that were preserved at Fort Chaplain last year. Remember the 98 units that are rising out of the ground on U Street at Portner Flats in conjunction with the AFL-CIO. Remember the production of Square 50, 52 units delivered in Georgetown to allow people to be proximate to resources, allow people to be proximate to hospitals and jobs. And so remember, when you leave this place, there's a story to be told. Private activity bonds are important. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Deputy Mayor Kenner and Polly and all of my housing team to join me at the podium as we, Tyrone, Chris, to step forward so that you all will be close for questions. We'll take a few on topic and then a few if there are any off topic. Questions? Yes, sir.
Mayor, what happens if the Congress doesn't go forward with the eliminating the tax breaks? Do you still go forward with this money?
Yes, and this is something that we considered very carefully because the private activity bonds are implicated in the House bill, not the Senate bill, so we're not sure what will come out of conference, but we want to be prepared. And it is a good thing that we've been very focused on the delivery of these additional 4,000 units, and Brian is going to tell you what it means if there's no change.
Yeah, and that's the sort of the great thing about this issuance is that even if a more favorable version of the tax bill does pass, the funding, the bonds will still be available to fund those 4,000 units of housing. And so we don't lose anything by moving forward with this bond issuance.
And additionally, there are already, I think, projects in the pipeline that actually amount to more than what would be available from this bond issuance. So we know that the demand is out there, and when all financing is available, it can move forward.
And if we could get a list of some of he mentioned several projects that are affected. If we could get just a simple list, would be great without having to read the bond issuance ourselves.
Okay, so what he was referring to was Mr. Donald was referring to was some of the projects that have been positively impacted that are already delivered or in the pipeline. But we can also show you what's on deck.
It's citywide, pretty much.
Yes. Questions, press questions. No more press questions? Yes?
I have one off topic on your trip.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your trip to Chicago and the news you'll be making there?
Yes, I'm on my way to a C40's convening. You know that I participate in a global group of mayors who are focused on climate change. I have participated in a number of different convenings. This one is being hosted by Mayor Rahm Emanuel, and our leader, Anne Hidalgo of Paris, is also going to be attending with a number of North American mayors. So I'll get to run up to a couple of events this afternoon and get back home tonight. So Tommy Wells has advanced me there, and I'll be joining him where we're going to be talking about more reductions that we can pledge over the coming years. And so I'll leave it at that for now. Yes, ma'am.
Ask the question.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you. Let's stay tuned.